Hey there. So today we're going to talk about the importance of fats. What are fats? What are the different kinds of fats? Do fats make us fat? We're going to break that myth. All right, we'll get right into it. So, introduction to fats here. So, fats provide us with energy. They support cell growth. They protect our organs. They help with our immune system. Not consuming enough fats can lead to deficiencies. It can lead to hormone issues. And just eating fats in moderation will not make you fat. Different types of fats. You got your saturated fat, your unsaturated fat, and your trans fat. Those are the three main types. Saturated fats are a type of dietary fat that is usually solid at room temperature. Now, this isn't always true, but it's a decent rule that you can go by. It's usually found in animal products, so like meats, butters, cheeses, creams. Coconut oil also has it. So too much saturated fat can lead to health problems. It can lead to high cholesterol. That's probably what you hear the most often, right? Heart disease, stroke, all of that, right? Cardiac issues. It's recommended that your saturated fats make up no more than 10% of your daily calories. Now, to reduce your intake of saturated fats, try to just eat healthy fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, lean meats, right? Like chicken breast instead of chicken legs, right? Different things like that. Opt for healthier oils as well, like olive oil. We're not going to use canola oil. I don't actually like that I included that. I'm going to take that off. Uh, Olive oil is good. Avocado oil is good. Unsaturated fats. So that is the type of fat that is considered healthy, right? Unlike a saturated fat, which is solid at room temperature, an unsaturated fat is usually liquid at room temperature, and they can increase or decrease your risk of heart disease, right? Two main types of unsaturated fats. So you got your mono unsaturated fats, which is like your avocados, your nuts, your seeds, your olive oils. Research shows that consuming those will lower your LDL levels and reduce your risk of heart disease. Polyunsaturated fats are found in foods like your fish, right? Like salmon, right? You hear salmon has healthy fats, right? That's where that comes from. Nuts, seeds, and vegetable oils. Polyunsaturated fats are good for your body, right? To function, brain function, all these other different things. It's a good source of the omega-3s, especially in salmon, omega-6 fatty acids. That helps with heart health as well, increases brain function, and decreases inflammation in your body. So incorporating unsaturated fats into your diet is a very smart choice, but it's also important that you do not overdo it. Trans fats are the next one. So trans fats are a type of unsaturated fat that's really found in processed foods, and it's oftentimes it's found when liquid oil is turned into a solid through a process called hydrogenation, right? And so you can see the picture on the right here. This is what your trans fats look like, right? We know they're bad for us. They've been actually shown now through science to raise the bad cholesterol and decrease the good cholesterol, which increases your risk of heart disease and other heart-related issues. Now, many countries have actually banned trans fat, but it's just important to keep an eye on that on the label, right? You'll see on the label, it'll say trans fat, but really it's also just avoiding things like fried foods, things that have a lot of oil in them, right? Processed food. We want to stick with our whole foods. Obviously, have these in moderation, right? So, how do fats help our bodies? So, fats provide us with energy. Fats help us absorb nutrients, vitamins, and minerals in our food. Fats are very good for skin. Fats are very good for brain and cognitive function. Super good for nails, hair, skin, like I mentioned. Helps to regulate body temperature. Helps to keep our organs functioning properly. Fats are very important for hormone production, especially if you're a woman. And fats also help us to feel full. And if you eat fats at night, it will actually help you recover better and sleep better. So a little bit of fat, a little bit of like dark chocolate at night, things like that is actually good for you. So what happens if you don't eat enough fat? You probably don't actually think about this, but it's very crucial that you eat a minimum amount of fat. It's usually around 60 grams of fat a day. I do not ever recommend someone have less than that, especially if you're a woman, because you'll have reduced brain function, right? You'll feel foggy, you'll have trouble concentrating, you'll have dry skin, dry hair, you're going to have a hormonal imbalance, right? So you're not going to produce enough healthy hormones in the body, which is going to cause things like fertility issues, mood swings, other health problems, stress, things like that. Your immune system is also going to be weaker because fats are essential for a healthy immune system. So you're going to be more susceptible to getting sick, feeling sick, getting disease, infection, bacteria, things like that. And then you're going to actually have an increased risk of heart disease. So you don't want to eat too much unhealthy fats, but increasing the healthy fats, right? Like the omega-3 fatty acids that are in those fats, those saturated fats, unsaturated fats, is essential for heart health, right? So not getting enough fats can actually increase your risk of heart disease. Now, I wanted to touch on the cooking oils. So everyone always asks me, like, what do I cook with? Which oils do I use, right? So the biggest thing to think about really is the smoke point. So the smoke, when something hits its smoke point, it then releases free radicals into the body, which can really harm you. So when you're, like when you're cooking, right, if you heat up a bunch of oil in your pan searing like fish, at some point at the end of cooking, oftentimes it's popping and smoking, right? And like you can see it smoking. I'm assuming you cook with olive oil, your olive oil has hit the smoke point. So if you look down here, olive oil has the lowest smoke point, 325 to 375 degrees. Olive oil is very, very, very healthy for you in moderation. Olive oil has a lot of calories. 1 tablespoon of olive oil has like well over 100 calories in 1 tablespoon. So you want to make sure you don't have too much olive oil. Like you don't want to go boom, 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 all in your pan, right? Just a little bit is good. Like 1 tablespoon is good. It's very good though for heart health. It's very good for cholesterol. It's very good for using it as a dressing, using it cold. Olive oil I cook with once in a while, but only if it's like, I'm just sauteing veggies quick, right? I'll use olive oil. But if you're gonna like pan sear a steak, like really hot, you want to get like a good sear, you don't want to use olive oil because it's gonna smoke. So think of olive oil, which when you buy it, you want to get cold pressed, and you want to get it extra virgin, organic, and in a dark bottle so the sun doesn't oxidize it. When you think of olive oil, think of like I use it for salad dressing. I'll use it for sauteing something light. If you're going to cook something, sear it, you're going to probably want to use something like avocado oil or ghee. Now, avocado oil and ghee have a similar smoke point closer to 500 degrees. Ghee is actually a form of butter that's been processed and broken down. And so it's very healthy with vitamins A, E, and K2. It's rich in CLA, which will lower inflammation in your body. And it's a good healthy fat. So ghee you can use if you want to, like, instead of using a canola oil. Industrial seed oils at the bottom have a very high smoke point, but we don't want to use them because they're so full of crap. They are so processed. I'm not even going to get into it, but they bleach. It says it here. Manufactured with heavy chemicals that contain bleaching. So first they bleach it to make it like clear so it doesn't look black. Then they deodorize it with chemicals so it doesn't smell rancid because they process it so much that it becomes rancid. And then they use solvents and chemicals to make it cleaner. Yeah, we don't want to use seed oils. Canola, sunflower, safflower, grape, corn, vegetable oil. Throw them away. Buy yourself an olive oil, an avocado oil, and maybe a coconut oil if you want, or a ghee. Think of olive oil for salads and dressings, avocado oil for cooking at a higher temperature, and ghee for the same thing. Avocado oil has the unsaturated fat, so it's healthy. So think of like olive oil, avocado oil. It's the 2 that you need. I'm sorry this took a while. I'm passionate about this. Get rid of the industrial seed oils. Purchase an avocado. Purchase an olive oil. That's all you need. All right, moving on. Will eating fat make you fat? No. Contrary to popular belief, eating fat does not make you fat. Here's why. Fat is an essential macronutrient. You need fat. You have to have a minimum level of fat in your diet daily to have healthy hormones, everything we talked about, brain function, everything. Consuming healthy fats, right, can aid in weight loss. It can reduce inflammation and improve your health. Eating excessive, the thing is when you eat an excessive amount of calories, no matter where they come from, you're going to gain weight, right? Weight loss is about how many calories do you burn, how many calories do you eat. If you burn more calories than you eat, then you're going to lose weight. If you eat more calories than your body burns, right, you're going to gain weight. So fat, it doesn't really matter how much you have, right, per se, because it's just about calories. Now, fat is usually higher in calories, and also a lot of fatty foods are just not healthy, right? So like burgers and fries and like all this crap, right, has a lot of fat, chips, processed food, right? So we just want to make sure we have it in moderation, but no, eating fat will not technically make you fat, right? Just eating too much of anything will. All right, and a balanced diet that includes healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, and lean proteins is key to maintaining a healthy weight, right? We're talking about all this, we're putting the pieces together. Protein is important, healthy carbohydrates are important, and healthy fats are important. You got to have all three, and when you do, you're going to feel amazing. That's why these diets that cut out carbs or cut out fats never work. You need all three. You just have to have them in moderation. All right, that's it for this lesson. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you go into your pantry after this. Take your canola oil, seed oils, if you still have them, take them outside, throw them in the trash. Pat yourself on the back, go on Amazon, order yourself, you know, avocado oil. I like coconut oil sometimes too, and olive oil, a good source of olive oil. All right, have a great day. I'll see you in the next lesson.